Hi everyone. Today here I'm going to discuss about child Turcot Pugh score. The child score previously was different. Now it is different. Now it is simplified, and you can remember this by a simple mnemonic: A B C D E. Right? A for albumin, B for bilirubin, C for coagulation means INR. In child, you find C and you find I, right? It's INR, not PT. Remember, not prothrombin time. It is INR. D for, remember, it's a distension. Abdominal distension means ascites. E for encephalopathy. So it's very easy enough. Albumin, bilirubin, INR, distension ascites, E encephalopathy. But last year in the NEET exam, they didn't ask about the components. They asked to calculate the child score and tell about which group it belongs. In child's score, there is A, B, and C, right? For calculating it, we should remember some values, but it is easy to remember. Just come to the values now. See it here. You have to remember just 1, 2, 3 points, right? And all the values surround around 1, 2, 3 numbers only. Okay. First, you think about albumin. More than 3.5, it's normal. Albumin content must be at 3.5, more than 3.5. Less than 2, it's abnormal. You give 3 for it. More than 3.5, you give 1 for it. So remember, values all surround around 1, 2, 3 numbers. So in albumin, 3.5, more than 3.5, you give 1 mark. Less than 2, you give 3 marks. Reverse these values. For bilirubin, less than 2, you give 1 mark. More than 3, you give 3 marks. In between numbers, you give 2 marks, right? Just remember, more than 3.5 for albumin, it's normal. Less than 2 for bilirubin, it's normal. You give just 1 point. And less than 2 for albumin, it's abnormal. You give 3 points. More than 3 for bilirubin, it's abnormal. You give 3 points. Just reverse these values. 3.5 here. Just remember like this. 3.5 here. You reverse it. 3 here. 2 here. You reverse here. 2 here. Values surround around 1, 2, and 3. Right? Got it? Now let's go to INR value. Less than 1.7. Remember 1. For the remembrance sake, you remember it as 1. Less than 1.7. It's normal. You give 1 mark. And more than 2.3, more than or equal to 2.3. At 2.2 also you give 2 marks. If it is 2.3 and more, it is 3 marks, right? You remember like this. It surrounds around 1, 2, 3. 1.7, 1 mark. More than 2.3, 3 marks. In between, you give 2 marks. You just remember this. It's easy to remember. It surrounds around 1, 2, 3. Those values are very easy to remember. Now I want to conclude it. 3.5, 2, 2, 3, 1, 1.7, 2.3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, like that. You remember in this way. Now distension. No ascites, 1 mark. Controlled ascites, 2 marks. Uncontrolled ascites, it is 3 marks, right? And encephalopathy. In encephalopathy, he'll be normal or confused or coma. So if for normal, no encephalopathy, give 1 mark. For confused state, you give 2 marks. For coma state, you give 3 marks, right? Now, if you add all ones, the minimum score is 5. If you add all 3s, the minimum score is 15, right? If you add all 2s, the minimum score is 10. Now remember, If the score is more than or equal to 10, it is child C. That means it is decompensated state. We calculate it in few liver diseases and we go for transplant. Whether we'll check even in hepatocellular carcinoma by child score and Milan's criteria, you decide whether to go to transplant or not. In various liver diseases also, you calculate child score, you decide whether it is a normal or compensated, it's compensated or decompensated or equivocal. Just remember, very important point here, more than or equal to 10. 10 is the number. Don't think 10 is equivocal. 10 is abnormal, right? 10 more than or equal to 10, that is decompensated. Less than or equal to 6, that is compensated. 6 and 10, just remember these values. You can remember others. Less than or equal to 6, that is compensated. More than or equal to 10, that is decompensated. And in between, that is equivocal. We have to recalculate it after few days whether it is progressing or not. This is very simple child Turcot Pugh score, but yet it is very important area for NEET and AIIMS. I just want to rebrush it. A for albumin, B for bilirubin, C for INR, D for distension, E for encephalopathy. Thank you guys for listening our video. Hope it helps you to remember much. Happy learning.